Hello, good evening, welcome. I've just ate my dinner. I apologise. I've got hundreds of food stuck in my teeth. It's ridiculous. So if anybody gets brought up full screen, it's got nothing to do with vaping. It's all to do with whatever's in my teeth. So hello, everybody. Welcome to your Monday Night Rabble here on the Rangers Rabble podcast. Plenty to talk about. As Stuart said to me just before we started, what we're talking about, and I went, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. You can help us out with that. Get your thoughts in the comments. Anything that you want us to discuss, we shall. You just let us know. I hope you're all well. Keep liking, keep subscribing. I didn't. I'll come back to that in a minute, Cammy. I didn't on today's afternoon rabble talk about likes, and lo and behold, barely anybody gave it a like until I jumped in and started saying it. So, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I am joined tonight again by Alex. Alex, we really need to stop meeting like this, man.
Well, then, mate, I'll bring up Donald's comment there. You know, slave labour, the amount I'm on this now. I need to give somebody else a shot. But I'm good, mate. We're back in again, so let's talk about Rangers once again.
Well, Stuart should hopefully be doing most of the talking tonight because me and you have probably talked St Mirren to death. Stuart on his first main show. Stuart, how are you?
As a person, I'm very good. As a bear, well, we've had better days, haven't we? That's for sure. Yeah, it should be interesting. So, like, I know you guys have talked St Mirren till we can't even talk about St Mirren any longer. But I'm sure we could like put my tuppence worth in, see where we get from that, and then move on to Wednesday.
Well, you've mentioned that me and Alex have talked St Mirren to death, so obviously I'm going to come to you first, Stuart. What was your, because I get quite a lot of stick on the reaction, and maybe it was fair, I don't know. But what was your takeaway from Sunday, the St Mirren game?
First 5-10 minutes, easily St Mirren with the bigger threat. That's what I thought. That's what I took from it. Then we got the grip of it. I thought our tempo was really good. We tried to move the ball about fast on the grass, get it around, try to get in behind them. Then when we went 1-0 up, like we always do, the tempo dropped. And we then started to go back to we're 1-0 up, this should be enough. And then you get a little bit more. That allowed St Mirren then back into the game. We probably think proper. It's quite bad when you think, well, not bad, we're in a state where our 36-year-old centre-back who came in twice as an emergency backup is probably our best centre-back we've got. That's my thoughts.
Yeah. I take that on board, Alex. Yeah. I don't know if I so much agree with Stuart in terms of once we got the goal. But the good thing is we disagree, but we still got on 90% of the time. 90% of the time. I genuinely thought for the majority of the first half, St Mirren were by far the better team, Alex.
No, they definitely were. Watching that game, we seemed to get that goal against the run of play. If anything, St Mirren seemed to dominate the ball. They were having the better chances. They were putting us under a lot of pressure. Olasanya was giving our backline a torrid time. And I think we got the first goal. You think we can get a bit of momentum and start building on that? And it almost gave St Mirren the momentum to just keep going. They just kept pushing at us, playing their game plan, and they just looked like they wanted it more for that first half. And as they got their goal, they just kept coming at us.
Yeah, they did. They absolutely did. And I don't know, Stuart, if that was the thing that kind of annoyed me the most was that a team came to Ibrox. And St Mirren have been god-awful so far this season in most of the games that I've seen. They weren't sitting third bottom of the league for no reason. But they came to Ibrox. Stevie Robinson had them set up to come at us and go because he felt that he could get at us. And he was right.
Probably every manager is thinking the same. Whether it's at Ibrox or their own backyard. I don't think MD fears us anymore. Because they know there's a mistake in us. Teams will allow us to have 70%, 75% of the ball, all we like. We don't really do much with it. So therefore, they know that we're going to make one mistake at least, and they can pounce on that. We noticed that there on Sunday, where the St Mirren boy with the dreadlocky hair that absolutely roasted proper all afternoon. Apologies, can't remember his name.
Olisanya.
We'll go with that. Onisanya, we'll go with that. But when we must have two of the slowest centre backs also. And it would make potentially the league with the boy just long ball through, he coached it away, sort of like screwed the shot, went past the left hand side with the post, where he probably would have, if that was Dessers, we'd been shouting, you should have buried that. So maybe he should have. And then you go to the second half where it was the long ball. Balogun went for it, but over the top of his head. The guy buried it. Yes, he was offside, but it just showed you how slow our two centre-backs were of turning and chasing back. But saying all that, and I'm saying it all negative and everything else, we go to 3 points.
Yes, we did, Alex. And normally that would be good enough. Not good enough, but normally that would be acceptable. You don't play well, but you know what? We got to 3 points, and we move on. But like I said on the reaction, we lost at Kilmarnock, we drew with Hearts, and we got taught a lesson off Celtic. So it's not like week on week we're not playing well, but we're always picking up points, because Alex, we're not.
No, we're definitely not, but it doesn't look like we're improving or we're taking anything from these games to work on and build on. When we're getting beat against Kilmarnock, we're playing the exact same shape against St Mirren, a team that play the exact same way. We'll sit in and try and catch on the counter. They've got the strong centre-backs. They've got the strong players in midfield that want to be physical, and we're not learning a system and how to play against these players. So week in, week out, they're still tormenting that midfield. They're still tormenting the back line. They're putting one ball over the top, as Stuart said, getting in behind, and nobody can catch them. Why are we not learning as a team how to play against these forwards in this midfield that just bully us all game?
Right. And actually, I haven't said this once in like the 1,500 shows that I've done since the game, Alex. The St Mirren actually deserve some credit, because it's easy for us to sit back and go, we're Rangers at Ibrox. It should be simple enough. We should be able to get through that game, no problem. St Mirren for bottom, fighting for their lives. The St Mirren actually deserve some credit.
They probably did, to be fair. They actually came and gave us a game. Usually teams will just sit 11 men behind the ball and hope to get a lucky break, but St Mirren brought a game plan and actually executed it yesterday, and we're unlucky not to come away with just a point there, because the way they played, they probably deserved it more than we did. I know that AJ said at half-time, the stats almost looked flipped. Rangers had more shots, more on target, but in actual fact, it felt like St Mirren had more in that game against us than we did. So it's like the stats were almost deceiving in how many shots on target we had compared to St Mirren. They had 4 shots, 1 on target, 1 corner, 1 goal. Yeah, whereas we had 7-3, 1 corner, and only 1 goal. And it was because of a shot from Raskin that deflected off the keeper and Igamane put it in. So, no, you've got to give credit to St Mirren, I think.
I think that's probably fair, to be honest, Stuart. I've spoke for months, probably years, about the standard in Scotland and about the standard of teams that you come up against in Scotland, and how teams are very reluctant to try and play football. And then as soon as a team does it and does it well against us, I'm complaining.
Doesn't come any surprise now, because, as I said, mentioned earlier, any team come to Ibrox, we don't frighten them. So they're taking that opportunity to, play how they would against, a Ross County or something. But bear in mind, a very, very poor Hearts team put 4 past them. Mm-hmm. So they did. But it just shows where we are, I think. I don't know. I'd love to know what we do in training, because we've said for many, many years we can't break down a 10-man defence. Well, what we're doing at training, can we not get the B team and play against the B team and get the B team to sit with 10 men behind and try and break them down? It's just, sometimes it's frustrating what you see. You see the same thing and you hear the same reaction after the game, which I think annoys me. Don't know about everybody else, but it certainly annoys me when you hear the same thing. We'll learn from this. Well, still waiting to see what we're learning, because I don't see it. But I hope whatever we're going to learn from that victory on Sunday, we take into Wednesday.
See that phrase?
Up at a few levels.
See that phrase, Stuart? We'll learn from this, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of us will ever accept anybody coming out in a post-match, Stuart, and saying that again.
No, I don't think so. Because we've heard it so often, haven't we? So often we've heard it, and the following game comes, and it's the same mistakes, and it's the same results, and it's the same after-match nonsense. But then you get a little bit of fresh air, where Balogun comes out and says how it is. Young, what's his name? Sterling. He came out, said it how it is, and then he disappears with an injury. But yeah, so we wait and see. I think, yeah, just to sort of like mention the manager at this point. I think he does have his favourites. He does have his way of managing, and I think, if you go to that other side of him and upset him and come out and say things that he's not happy what you've said, I think that's where you'll learn that you step to the side, and somebody else will not so much take your place, because poor Sterling, he's played every position apart from the goalkeeper. You know what I mean? So I think if anybody can feel a wee bit miffed at what's happening, surely it's him.
That's actually a point I want to pick up on, Alex, and I'm going to say something here that's not going to be very popular. Right? In fact, I think people might actually A, stop watching, B, want to find out where I live, and C, stop watching. Right? I was watching Sports Scene. I know, but folks, we do the Scottish football show, and you've got to watch the highlights somewhere. Alex, I'm kind of padding this out because I'm a wee bit feared to say it, right?
Dude, and then you cannot talk. So let's move on to some of the comments.
I'm just wondering, Alex, if you can did you watch Sports Scene?
I did, aye.
If you get any idea where I'm going with this, because as soon
No,
as
really, no.
Dujon Sterling.
No. Right,
okay. So after the game, Michael Stewart was talking, right? I'm still a wee bit fear to go here, right? And he actually made a good point. I know. Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
away. That's it. Tune out, everybody. He's done it already.
I'm so sorry, folks. I'll change that. Michael Stewart made a point. This is Stuart's taking the earphones off and he's away flinging away. He was talking about Dujon Sterling. And he was talking about how last season, he was almost, I can't even think of the word, because I actually feel like I've lost about 8,000 brain cells since I said that Michael Stewart made a good point. He was invaluable for us.
He's a utility man.
Aye, but he was invaluable wherever he played. And obviously in that midfield role, everybody's giving me a red card, and I agree. But he was basically saying that Rangers need to find a way to get him back in the team and start utilising him. And Alex, I feel that I kind of have to agree. And I'm going to say this one more time and you'll never hear it again. Alex, I agree with Michael Stewart.
No, that's it. Stop the pod. That's it. We're done. Nah, you have to. It is a point, though. Like, he was a player for us last season that we relied on so heavily. He came in and played multiple different roles, and then all of a sudden he's cast out and he barely gets a substitution. So you've got to feel a bit for Dujon Sterling, because he showed that he's got quality. But I think it was Ian a few shows ago said that we've used Sterling in that many positions, we've almost don't know where he plays now, to the point where he can't get a starting role because he's not going to start at right back. We've now got Casemiro that's going to move in there from Tav. He can't play at centre back. We're not going to put him in for Hefty. So it's like, where does he actually play? Czerny's picked up a bit of form. We've actually started to get a good midfield of Raskin and Barron. So where does he actually get that position in the team? Where can he come in? But he is a player that we've relied on so much. But as Curry says, he's such an unused substitution for us. He sits on the bench because, Stuart pointed out, it becomes almost an injury to then pull him out of the team. But then we don't see him back in. He got him for 10 minutes yesterday against St Mirren.
It was. Do you know what it is for me, Stuart, and why I agree with Michael Stewart? It's the fact that last season, when we weren't playing well, we had a poor performance, Dujon Sterling came out and went, no, we were shit. And he was so invaluable to us last season. And he's not had that opportunity to have a run in the team in any sort of position, whether it be in that midfield in beside Connor Barron or in beside Raskin or whatever, or at right back. When Tav's been rested, we bring in Casa. And I know a lot of us want to see, and I completely agree with you, Jordan. A lot of us want to see Casa in at right back because we feel that he brings something. But Dujon Sterling done so much for us last season. For him to be kind of left out in the wilderness now is worrying for me.
Well, that goes back to, I think, the poor man management of the manager. Nothing else, because the guy's not done nothing wrong. I think to get him into the team, he's no right winger. I don't even think he's a centre mid guy. We're not going to get him to right back. The only and I'll say this, but the manager ain't going to change it. I think the only way that Sterling will get a run in the team is go to a back three.
Mm.
And that will probably be Suter, Sterling, and Casa, the three of them. Because when that boy moved into centre back on Sunday, he done just as well as he did at right back. And to emphasise the part on his right back abilities, do you remember the guy that plays for St Mirren called Kilty?
Greg Kilty.
Yeah.
Played for Kilmarnock as well.
I think he did, right?
Yeah.
But when he played on St Mirren's left side, he absolutely, and this is not a Tav bashing, just a comparison, he absolutely roasted Tav. He was getting in behind him, he was getting the crosses in, he was cutting inside. Did we see that in Sunday when Castro was playing it right back? No. I didn't even know he was playing until I seen him getting subbed. So that's a good job that the guy done as the defensive part of his job. Maybe not as lethal as Tav going forward. So that could be a point of playing they three as a back three, and then obviously select the rest of your team for the five across the middle and the two up front. But again, will the manager change the whole formation stuff? Of course he won't. We'll get the normal nonsense for Wednesday night.
Excuse me, we absolutely will. Can I just say a massive thank you to Jaxie's Vlogs? He's put 2 super chats in on YouTube. Thank you very much, Jaxie. And it's not came up that you're a new member. I did see your comment there. So if you are a new member, thank you very much, Jaxie. Greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for the support. Right, I want to deal with this so we don't need to speak about it again. Right, Nikolai Volkov for manager. Super chat in from Blue Bells Are Blue. Thank you very much. You may notice, folks, that in YouTube, a lot of people have got a picture of somebody who looks a lot like my face on an 80s wrestler. And that's because it is my face on an 80s wrestler. For example, on Cammy's picture there, you can clearly see that that's my face. Somebody's actually put the Rangers Rabble badge on his hat, which, and we all know who that somebody is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gallant. Yeah. Sent that to me first thing. So yeah. So thank you, Bluebells, for the super chat. Thank you for the support, buddy. And it will not be mentioned again. And Gallant, I'm going to find out where you live, which is probably something. It's probably something you shouldn't say, because even if you're joking, which I'm not, but even if you're joking, you can still get done for it. You know. So I probably shouldn't be saying I'm going to find out where people live, but I'm going to find out where you live, Gallant. Some of the pictures he's put up in that Discord group, Alex.
Oh, they're brilliant, aren't they? They're just Martin gets an absolute roasting in that Discord chat. If it's no you, it's Connor. Used to just take an absolute.
Well, I'm actually trying to think now. My face has now been on an 80s Russian wrestler, Shawn Michaels, and Kim Jong Un, and I have to say, I look the nicest with Kim Jong Un.
Is it the round face?
I think it's a round face. I think it is the round face. Right, folks, you don't get this kind of patter on Sports Scene, so get liking and get subscribing, and please do get sharing. I've talked about it a bit today. I don't want to really go too much on it. Alex and Stuart, if you want to jump in after Alex has had his say, then please do feel free. It was the main topic of conversation, Alex, on the afternoon Rabble. If you haven't seen that, go back and check it. You can get question of the day. Who am I? And all around just a wee laugh in the afternoon. So yeah. Robin Proper I believe I said Robin had a proper nightmare, which he absolutely did, Alex.
He just did not look comfortable with a pacey striker on him at all. There was a few instances where he was just needing to use a bit of strength, and Olasanya just turned him for fun. He kept turning him, and it almost costed a few goals. And I remember the one in the second half, just before he got subbed off. It was just a ball that was going out of play. Olasanya's chased it. Propos tried to shield it, and he's actually turned him 180 to get the ball back out and go forward. But he just doesn't seem to be confident at all in the Scottish game. He doesn't look like he's got any physicality. He doesn't look like he can pass the ball. He doesn't want to take it and run. He just does not look comfortable at all. And I don't know how you can get that in a defender, because he's 28. You'd expect him to. He was a captain of 20, and you'd expect him to be a bit more physical.
Captain of who?
F20, 20.
20. There you go.
Aye, right. Anyway, I missed it the T there, didn't I? But like, he just does not look like he wants to do anything with the ball. He panics and passes it to either Suter or Hefty, and then that's his job done. But when it comes to a tackle, he doesn't look like he even goes for it at all.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to come in on that there, Stuart, but I kind of agree. But can I also just ask, right? And I'm going to get hammered for this, I know. But I always like to try and play devil's dick advocate, Stuart, right? It's his first season at the club, in a new country, trying to learn the game. Maybe they defend different in Holland, I don't know. Is there any, can we give him any scope for learning the game here? Or is it a case of, look, you're 31, which I believe he's 31. I think I said 29. I think he's 31. He was captain of a 20, as Alex calls them, side that finished third in Holland. He should really be doing better.
Yeah, I'm not wearing that he's new to the country.
And if you're going to say clothes,
no, and he spent 7 days in IKEA looking for new furniture, and he's and all that carry on. He's a football player, irrespective whether you play in Holland, Scotland, Japan. Look across the city; they brought the boys over for Japan and hit the floor running. It just seems to be the players we bring in seem to need 2.5 seasons to get ready for the Scottish game. It was funny we were mentioning there about WWF wrestlers. It was at one point where Proper had your boy Lasagna in a neck hold because he turned him inside out and was running away from him. I think, I'm not saying he's a bad player, of course he's not. He's a professional and making good money, but I think it's again probably similar to Lammers. It's the physicality side of the Scottish football he may not like. But he's got to
He's
learn.
a central defender, though, Stuart. Surely to God, as a central defender, you should be up for a bit of physicality.
Oh, yeah. So I always remember the time, any time when if you were playing up front and playing at the back, it was let your opposition know very early doors that he's in a game. So the big man, big Proper there, soon for the wee St Mirren boy, clatter on his bum. You're in for a rough 90 minutes, wee man. But instead, it looked as if it was the other way around, And then every time he was coming forward, Proper looked as if I don't want to be here. And it's not the first time I've seen it. It's been a few occasions now where he looks as if that he just doesn't want to be there. European games, he seems okay again. Again, maybe it's the Scottish game that does they suit him. I don't know. We'll soon find out. If he plays on Wednesday. I
would be amazed if he doesn't start on Wednesday, but we'll get to that. We will absolutely get to that. Alex Igamane. 45 minutes booked in the first few seconds. Referee was obviously trying to kind of stamp his authority on the game. First time at Ibrox, only his third Premier League game, I think, that he's refed. But Igamane booked, and is it a worry that then puts him out the game? The fact he was on a yellow card that makes such a massive difference to the way he wants to play.
No, it definitely made a massive difference. I think it was a very, very harsh yellow, and as you're saying, the referee tried to stamp his authority, but then he kept no consistency throughout the game. He let tackles go that shouldn't have been, and then booked tackles that weren't yellows. But in terms of Igamane, I definitely think it hindered his game. he wasn't able to. He looks like he wants to get a bit physical with players, and he tries to take them close. But all it's going to take is a silly touch or a silly tackle, and he's off. So I think that's why he was took off at half time. I think he wasn't in the game as much as we'd liked, but he seemed to be growing into it, and he was just taken off after 45. This is going to be that you want to give players like Igamane time to get into the game and see what they can do, but he's not going to get that when he's been ripped off after 45 minutes. But I mentioned it yesterday on the reaction. He definitely likes to go out wide and doesn't stay tight, and that can be an issue from your striker, that he's not in the middle. If the ball comes in, he's not there to try and meet it.
I mean, Toronto Bear Stewart's saying that I don't think he's a 9. He drifts wide too often. Well, I mean, yeah.
I don't think we've seen enough of the guy to try and say what kind of player he is. I would like to see the young lad maybe getting 5-10 straight games in a row. Then we can judge him of what kind of player he is. I agree with the comment that he does drift either over to the right, over to the left. If you're a number 9, stay in the number 9. Let the 8 and the 10 feed you with ammunition. But yeah, until he gets a run of games, we can't really tell what kind of player he actually is. And I did feel for him a wee bit getting subbed so early on, where Mr. Dessers gets 90 minutes every other week. But Dessers come on, does what Dessers does, misses chances, falls in his bum, and sets the winner up. So it's not only the Jekyll and Hyde of the Rangers we see, it's the Jekyll and Hyde of Dessers also.
Can we not, Stuart, also take confidence though from the way that Igamane plays? I quite enjoy watching him. I've got no issue with, and usually it's wingers that do it, right? They get the ball, good close control, try and take players on, try and create things and make things happen. Right? Usually that's supposed to be, in the old-fashioned days, your inside forwards or whatever, or your invert or whatever, just your wingers. But he's not feared to get the ball down at his feet, Stuart, and take players on and try and make stuff happen. And I like that.
He's not. But the problem with that, and I feel, is when he does it, he gets past the defender. Well, there's nobody there to support him. So the guy's then left in limbo. He goes, what do you do to try and drag it back? Then he loses it and folk go in a huff, or does he go?
Well, that's where your 10, Stuart, should be further forward, shouldn't it?
But it doesn't help when our 10 playing out left wide. Our natural 10, you know. I mean, only us can buy a natural 10 who scores the fastest goal in the Euros and play him out in the left. Yes, he does drift in, but no, he's there. I mean, he played Diamande at a 10 before the natural number 10. It's just wee things like that you start thinking, what is our formation? What is it we do? Is it just 11 players rolling around? Give me the ball and I'll see what I can do with it. But yeah, to go back to your point, I'd like to see the young Igamane get more game time in a row to see exactly what kind of player he is. I mean, the manager did come out and say we had to buy him then because in a couple of years' time we could never afford them.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see where this value is coming from and give him 10 games or whatever.
Talking about Bajrami, Alex, are we starting to see now? And by all means, I'm not having a go. I think he's been one of our best players. I really do think that. But are we starting to see now that he isn't a left winger, that he is that 10? Do you think, albeit there's moments in a game where you can see his quality and he's really good with the ball at his feet and he can nutmeg people and he can take the ball past people, right? Absolutely. But are we starting to see in the last couple of games that he's not been in it as much?
No, definitely we are. The one thing I'd say that we're not seeing by Bajrami, he doesn't have the pace to get past players. That's what we want to see him in the middle, being able to get the ball, link it up. As you're saying, he's got some brilliant skill on him. He can nutmeg players. He gets in the byline. He tries his best to cut it back in, and we've not got somebody there to finish it. But you want somebody like your Matondo, like your McCausland out there that'll run down the byline, keep going, running. You want Bajrami to be in the middle. But it does seem to be lacking something out wide, and I think it's because we tried to go out wide and then cut back in. So you'll see instances with the game where Bajrami's in the middle and he's swapped with Diamande. Diamande goes out wide and then they're trying to swap around. So it's like we've not got a system that's suiting the players being out wide because they just keep changing positions. Nobody wants to play in the middle and then play out.
Yeah, and JD's saying, look, Bajrami plays on the left for Albania and says he likes playing on the left, but most of his games have been played at 10. Would we not be asking these kind of questions, Stuart, though, I suppose, if he was getting more support round about? Or is it a case of, no, we need to see him in that 10. We need to see him creating in that area because he is good at taking a ball past the player and finding a pass.
Who are we as fans to say where the guy should play? If the guy himself has come out and said, I enjoy playing on the left, well,
then we go up to him, Stuart, and we say, no, you're wrong, Bajrami.
no,
you're wrong.
Aye. You don't know what you're talking about, mate. You get into that number 10 position. But going back there, what Alex said, I had a wee chuckle when he says, like McCausland goes by the player to the byline. I've never seen McCausland do that yet.
I've not seen it this season.
No.
He's been injured all season, isn't he? But he was doing it. But the issue you've got is that we don't have players that do it though, do we? We don't right now. All our players that would do that are injured. But the issue we've got is that we don't have a game that is classed as an easy game to give Bajrami the chance to go to number 10 to see what he can do. We can see if he plays in a game against Aberdeen, for example, and he has a bit of a stinker in the 10. We go, oh, well, there you go. It's not going to work. We're moving back it to left wing, and that's where he's staying for the rest of the season. So we're not going to go for a game to give him an opportunity to show where he's actually going to shine. What we'll do is we'll do it in a game in Europe when it doesn't matter if we win or lose because we're either in that stage where we're not going to move up or down a place, and we'll go, right, on you go. But then we're not going to do it back in the league. And that's always going to be the issue, that we're going to give players opportunity in a game that doesn't matter to show what they can do.
Aye, give you that. Yeah, but the thing with Bajrami, even though he's on the left, you do notice he does drift inside, don't he? And he does that wee triangular movement.
You would think the front four should be interchangeable anyway, Stuart, especially in Scotland.
Aye, absolutely. But do we talk enough? That's the thing, isn't it? No, when Bajrami cuts inside, we would then expect Jeffy to go one ahead. But then when the ball sort of like comes out to where we're expecting either a Bajrami or a Jeffy, there's nobody there. So that move breaks down. So is it a point? Is the front four talking to each other? They're talking to is Raskin and young Barron noticing what's happening, the movement in front of them, or again, is it just a case of I'll get rid of the ball, see where it goes.
Which actually I think shows how important when he was fit Ryan Jack was, because Ryan Jack was so good that if Tav went forward, Ryan Jack just moved slightly over into that space, and then Tav could get forward, which could allow whoever was at right wing to cut inside or even go and make it a 2 up front. And he can get balls into the box. But we don't do tactics on the Rabble. Jeez, we do not discuss tactics on this platform. We are not smart enough.
He's not on the pod yet. We need to get Ian on to discuss tactics. We're not there yet.
Stuart, don't you come on here thinking you can get all tactical, right?
All right, I'll try my best, but I'll stop it.
Oh, you say that boy there, he runs with the ball and he passes to that boy who shoots. That's how we roll on this show.
Right. Okay. No. See when that number 14 gets the ball, he just runs with it, then he passes it to that wee guy with the number 10.
Aye.
And then we see what happens after that. Okay.
Aye. See what I mean? How easy was that? You know what I mean? And the folk watching understood it.
We're sounding like Clement.
Oh, a wee dig here on his first show. Hey, boom, boom. I'll come straight back to you then, Stuart, and we'll have because we're going to obviously come on to the Aberdeen game in a wee minute. But just before we do, Václav Černý has sort of been the recent saviour of Rangers. He has certainly been on form.
Certainly to me is your normal winger. He'll have 4 stinkers, 3 good ones, a couple of average games. I mean, probably Laudrup, Cooper, they never played every single game outstandingly. There were games what they went missing. It's just unfortunate.
Not many though. Not many.
No, not many. But it just seems to be, unfortunately for the players that are playing for us at the moment, the fan base is desperate for success.
Mm-hmm.
Desperate for success. So any little wee thing that's going wrong, it's a molehill made into a mountain. It's one of the things where
a mountain made out of a molehill. Come on, I mean, you're
no.
fitting right in with the wrong
No,
metaphors. So Stuart, I'll give you that.
What I said was it's only a wee hill, but because he's making mistakes and we're desperate for success, we're making it into a mountain. That's what I'm saying. You need to listen to what I'm saying, Martin. Right?
Oh, that's true.
So,
do you know what? Fair enough. You've got me. That's 1-0, Stuart.
However, what I was going to add on to that was I'm at the age where I've seen Celtic win 2 9-in-a-rows.
Mm.
Can we please do whatever we can to stop at 3?
He's firing at the big guns tonight, isn't he?
Help me.
He's talking tactics, Alex. He's talking a third Celtic 9 in a row. He's getting the better of me in conversations. This isn't going to work, is it?
No, we need to swap the cameras. Stuart needs to host, and you come on the odd show here. There we go. That's it. There we go.
Yeah.
Right, where were we? Aye.
I would go as far as to say that I think for us anyway, I think Brian Laudrup probably ruined the winger role just because he wasn't sparkling every game, but the majority of games he was a 7 or 8 out of 10, and quite a lot of the times he was a 10 out of 10. I think he kind of ruined wingers for us, to be brutally honest. But just talking about wingers, Alex, Ross McCausland, look, does he deserve a bit more of a chance, or is that going to be quite difficult for him? What's that Czerny now? 5 goals, 4 games. Most of the thumbnails that I've done have had Czerny on them just because he's been the better player or he's scored that crucial goal. Is it going to be difficult for McCausland to try and break back into the team?
I think it's going to be difficult for McCausland to break back in. I think you're going to need to either see, and hopefully we don't, Czerny get injured, or McCausland come on and get like 2 goals from a substitution point of view to be able to get in. But the issue is that he comes on, gets a goal, and he's dropped back to the bench, or he goes away in international duty, gets himself injured, and immediately phase him back in. So McCausland's seeming to make a rod for his own back, that he either has a good performance, goes away with his international team and gets injured, or comes on and does nothing, and he doesn't get a run in the next game. But we keep saying that we need to move Bajrami into the 10. That's where McCausland, I think, would be better out in the wing. Then you've got a bit of pace and you can actually start getting that connection. But as we said at the start, Clement has got his favourites and he's got the players.
Every manager's got their favourites, though, haven't they?
They definitely do. They definitely do, and you can see that. But the biggest favourite that he had got dropped, and he didn't start at the weekend there. So maybe he's starting to see that players can be interchangeable, because we obviously saw that Tav got dropped after I don't know how many running games that he played without being dropped. But Casemiro came on, so every player, I can't speak. Every player will get a chance, and we just need to wait and see. Maybe McCausland comes on and gets a goal against Aberdeen, and that gets him a chance to start. But I think we just need to wait and see what's going to happen for Ross McCausland.
The problem is Stuart's come on and he's just took over, and he's totally fried our brains. I think it's we're not used to having smart people on. I think that's the problem.
That's definitely the problem now. Stuart's just like put us to the sword tonight, and we're done.
I can change if you like, and just I can go with the flow. It doesn't bother me. But I see somebody's already got a contract to me already. I don't know what he's talking about that. One of the comments there.
Then you come on here, but and you're smart, Stuart. The comments will not let you live it down.
That's right.
As soon as they find that one thing about you, that's it. Although Gallant's telling you take no prisoners, Stuart.
None whatsoever.
Yes.
Sorry, going back to McCausland there, Alex. I think as you said, he's made a rod for his back. But I think personally, he's better coming on as a sub, because he's an impact player, isn't he? Like Batondo, he's an impact player. I seriously think young Ross is an impact player. He's just no got it when the game's tight. The playing, the chess is out and the chess pieces are moving around. But when that's all done and you're 2 or 3-0 up, then bring him on to find.
But we're talking chess now, Martin. We're done for. We're done for now. We're done for. I think I have to agree with your point there, Stuart, that when you talk about Ross, he's a player that comes on when the defender's legs are looking a bit tired, and he can run at them and he can do something rather than starting the game, because they know how to suss him out when he starts. Where if you play Czerny, he's run them down a bit and they get tired, and then Ross comes on with that injection of pace. If you can bring on McCausland and Matondo, defenders don't know how to play against them because they do just run at you for the full rest of the game. And if that's 20, 30 minutes, they'll run at you. But I don't know. Sometimes he does look like he deserves a start because he comes on and he will do something in a game, whether that be a goal and an assist, and then you don't see him feature for the next game, and you wonder, well, what's he done wrong? He played well in that game. Why is he not getting on now? Is it something in training that the manager's seen and he doesn't like? And all of a sudden, then Ross isn't getting a game that week, and we need to wait till the next week to even see him make an appearance.
I want to address a couple of things. Firstly, Ian Martin loves himself. If anybody knows it, I don't go on with myself. So I certainly don't love myself. If anything, I dislike myself immensely. So just to deal with that comment, and just a big shout out to Donald Mackay, who's been working tirelessly behind the scenes to get the Rabble shop up and running, which has been aptly named Rabble Island, which is a bit strange because as soon as you hear island, you just start thinking Epstein, don't you? So, but yeah, Rabble Island. Plenty of merch there: bobble hats, t-shirts, tote bags, key rings, hoodies. So yeah, the link for that is in the description. Go ahead and check that out. Have a wee look. Big, massive. Thank you to Donald. Michael, what kind of question is that? I mean, I can't be answering that question because I don't know and I'm not going to ask. But yeah, go and check that out, folks. Also, give the show a like if you're enjoying it. If you're not enjoying it, just give it a like anyway, because I know everybody watching is good people. Everybody watching is good people. And if you want to help support the podcast further, as most of you know, we are now running this full time and trying to build it up, then consider joining as a member either on Patreon or YouTube, whatever tickles your fancy. The content is the same on both. It just depends on how you want that content delivered. If you're a Patreon person or you're a YouTube membership person, click the tier that suits you best and help support the podcast. We are almost at 300 members, which is incredible. So yeah, Rabble Island, Chucky, Rabble Island. I know my speech isn't the best, but ISLAND, Island. Alex, are Aberdeen favourites on Wednesday?
Putting me right under the pressure there, aren't you? Jesus. You've got to say they would have been playing. Aye. They're still undefeated this season, aren't they? They seem to give us a torrid time whenever we go to Pittodrie. We're not playing the best in now, so obviously being a bit negative here and saying, aye, I think they are favourites. I think we won't go there and roll over, but they've got to be considered favourites for this game.
Stuart, Aberdeen favourites?
Going
Away
by
at Pittodrie, they've not lost a game. They've went to Parkhead and drew. We've dropped points against Hearts, Kilmarnock. We've been beat off Celtic. Aberdeen favourites?
I'm going to say by league position only. Yeah. But saying that in all competitions they've scored 37 goals, lost 8. I think we've scored 25 and lost 9. But in saying that, I'm going for a victory. Aberdeen always pick their game up when they play against us. They're on a good run, unbeaten this season. But I think we'll rise to the occasion. Which is a bit sad to say that we're going to rise to the occasion against an Aberdeen side. But it's got to get done to bring them back in. And I think there's no better place to kickstart our season by a good convincing win at Pittodrie.
How big, Stuart, is it for the manager? We have spoke so much about Clermont. There was one of the reactions that we came on, and I think I basically said, and not that my opinion matters, Ian, in the comments, but I said I think that's it can't go on if we are going week to week saying that, right, if he loses this game, it's time up, it's game over, and we're not seeing a style of play, and we're not seeing the team play that we want them to play, and we're third in the league, and if we go 9 points behind Aberdeen, just how big is Wednesday for Clermont?
Irrespective. I say that because there's nobody in position at board level to make that decision to get rid of him. So that's not going to happen. If it did happen, can we afford to get rid of him? He's just signed a new contract. So what's it going to be? I don't know. I think we spent $4 and a bit million on Beale to get rid of him and his team. Similar money for Gio to get rid of his team. I think he stays irrespective. He's got to see out at least the end of the season, see where he is. However, who comes in a nice way? Who takes over this rabble? That's a football club. You know what I mean? To continue the rebuild of the previous two rebuilds.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the money coming for that? Because I don't see investors kicking the door in to say, here, take my £100 million.
No, there's been rumours of investment. I've not really looked much into them because rumours of transfers I don't really look much into either, unless you get word behind the scenes or whatever that there might be some truth in this. But in terms of investment into Rangers, Alex, we'll come back to Aberdeen in a wee sec. But in terms of investment, I mean, Aberdeen's got a brand new. No, Aberdeen. Hearts have got a brand new investor, I think, who's worth quite a lot of money. I think there's an investor looking into Hibs, St Johnstone, Dundee. There doesn't really seem to be anybody knocking down the door to want to come to Rangers.
Not really. There doesn't seem to be anybody, and I think that's probably the one that I'd seen. I think you're referring to. He said that he wanted some saying the way the club was going, and that didn't seem to be taken on too well with the board. So the issue you've got is that people are going to want, if they're investing a lot of money, they're going to want to have some sort of say in where the club's going for the future. But there's not many investors knocking on the doors at Rangers Football Club right now. And you've got to say that obviously the way that the board is being aired on TalkSport and the chat from Dave King, then the way that they were playing on the pitch, obviously it's not a good time to be coming into the club and put your name to the team. So it's just going to be an issue to see how we get those investors moving forward.
And in terms of, and I want to come to the positives in a wee sec about going up there on Wednesday, but I seen something ridiculous today, Alex, about a new manager, and somebody mentioned Graham Potter. Now, I could be completely wrong here, but I don't know, but I seen that he was offered a few jobs in the EPL, which he turned down. I cannot see, a Graham Potter coming to Scotland, because we won't be able to pay him anywhere near the wages that he could get basically anywhere else. And B, what has he actually done anything that we can say with confidence that he would come in and be a success?
I mean, first of all, the money we'd have to pay Graham Potter would be stupid compared to what he'd be getting in Scotland. He was obviously on a decent wage down south.
Just a decent wage.
Just a decent wage. The fact that he's obviously turned down some jobs in the EPL, is this just an opportunity to try and stay relevant, that he's putting his name in the hat and try to say that he would take the Rangers job? Because nobody's talking about, well, obviously the fans are, but nobody's talking about Clement being up in the chopping block. We just offered him a new contract. He's had an extension. So you've got to wonder what I've seen Harry Potter, that's actually come in my head there. Graham Potter, what Graham Potter's going to offer going forward. I reckon that he could come in the club and change it. But again, we're in the middle of rebuild. How many players are going to want to join the club? You're still on mute.
Yellow card. I get it. Sorry, my apologies. What one does it Brighton? Yeah, I suppose he did, Stuart.
But their recruitment system is mental, though.
But yeah,
they had so many superstars.
Brighton have got a proper structure in place, Stuart, which actually allows their managers to thrive.
Yeah, 100%. And so does probably the majority of the EPL, the Championship, League One. They've all got some kind of structure there that helps their team move forward. I don't see a structure. Of course, we don't know. We don't sit in the board meetings, do we? But we don't see a structure currently where we are at the moment. I don't think that any manager, and this is going to sound really bad, any manager worth his salt who wants to progress is going to come to us. Because at the moment, in the previous two managers, it's been a year or so. They're away. This manager's not going anywhere because we can't afford to get rid of him unless there was something in his contract that, sign a year's extension and you only get X amount of pounds should you either leave or, we're forced our hands. We need to let you go. So it'll be interesting. Again, any club, any manager that comes to Scotland has got an idea of how they would like to play football. But then the first time that he walks out, Ibrox or wherever, and there's 10 men behind the ball, he's like, I wasn't expecting this. How, no. So where's this free-flowing 11 against 11, and there's open spaces and stuff like that. And then he's lost then. He's trying to find a way of beating a 10-man defence. And yeah, I don't know who. I don't even have a name in my head who I would say. Everybody talks about the Glint man. I don't mean the Glint man, but the guy who managed
the Bodo Glint manager, yeah.
Him anyway. No, everybody's talking about him because he had a good result. Was it against Celtic, win it? They bet Celtic, win it. And ever since then, everybody's talking about, oh, get him in. Knowing us, I don't know if we will Musket again. He'll probably go Musket. They'll probably go.
Frank Lampard, as Jock Blues just said. Throw a Frank Lampard in there. It's always going to be. It seems to be the links that we're named with in the newspapers. We never ever seem to go for anyway, because Clement wasn't exactly on the radar, was he? Before we brought him in. But anyway, let's get off that conversation. Let's try and push it into a positive frame of mind, Stuart. We head to Aberdeen on Wednesday. It's an opportunity for the team to stick a middle finger up to the supporters who are on their back, stick a middle finger up to the people in the media who say they're not good enough. It's an opportunity for us to go to Aberdeen on Wednesday, put in a performance, get the win and go. Right, that's us. This is something to build on.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, we will win in Pittodrie. We can't afford to get beat. And I think that will drive the players on. If it doesn't, it's that old saying, they just don't know what it means to us fans. They've just got there and dilly-dally about what they've done against St Mirren, then Kilmarnock. And even Hibs, when it was like watching paint dry, but we got the 3 points. I think we will win in Wednesday night, and I think we'll win by a couple of goals. And I think, as you said, we can then put the finger up to the media, all the opposition fans who think we're finished and we won't come back, and then we can then just look at, because Aberdeen won't be there all season. They'll drop points. It's this honeymoon period that they're going through at the moment, and albeit the guys done well. They took this bunch of players that was no good, and they've turned them into, with a couple of signings, turned them into a half decent team. What you look at, but they're not destroying teams. That's the thing. There's no as if they're in the league they're winning 3-4-5-0. They're winning with the odd goal, and some of it's been very, very late goals that they've won by. So potentially the danger from Wednesday night is your boy. Is it Duke? Is that his name?
Duke, yeah. He
is lightning, isn't he? He's lightning. So I think potentially it's not going to drop his captain for Wednesday night, is he? But I would have preferred the wee Dutch boy at right back just to mollify him with his pace as well. But if it's a boy with the pace for Aberdeen, all night long, he'll get past Tav, and that brings the extra pressure, doesn't it? Because he gets past Tav, the ball comes into the box. Proper and shooter have got a mistake in them. The keeper, can I say this? We've talked about Proper, we've talked about Shooter, we've talked about Balogun, we've talked about Tav and Jeffrey. What was that Superman dive all about on Sunday afternoon? It's not his first time. But yeah, let's continue to talk about Aberdeen. I think confidently we'll win. I'm confident for a result on Wednesday night.
You could have mentioned Butland about 20 minutes ago. We would have had time to talk about him, but we don't have time to go there.
It just popped in there. I mean, it's like when you're sitting having your exams and you walk away from your exam and you go, I should have said this in that answer, but never mind, it's gone. You can't go back.
This is true. This is true.
Yep.
I noticed how Alex was wanting to jump in there and debate that point either. He just kept himself well at it.
You two guys have not done many exams. Is that what you're saying?
No, well, I did, but I ended up a bus driver, so I failed them all.
Well, there was your test. No, there's your exam. No, driving the buses.
Well, I got somebody that looked like me to go and do it for me, but that's neither here nor there. Alex, in terms of Wednesday night, then, what are you expecting team-wise? I'm guessing Tav back in, Casa drops to the bench. If Suter's fit enough or in health enough or whatever, him in beside, will it be proper with Jeff at left back? Do you see that as how the manager will go?
I think that's pretty much the back line into it. It's going to be Tav, proper, Suter, and Hefty as your back line. Seems to be that's his position to go for. I don't think Casemiro did anything wrong. I think he actually played really well, even when he moved into centre back. But Tav's your captain. You say that you need your captain in games like this, and he's going to play him against Aberdeen. But when you've got Sockler and Duke running down that side, that's the two men on fire right now. And you've got McGrath in the middle, being able to ping balls about. You don't know how Rangers are going to set up to counter that, because we're going to play the two in midfield with the four up top, and it's just going to be pretty much a 6-man all night, because they're going to have to stay back and defend as a team. And you hate to say that as a Rangers team, because you want us to be on the ball running forward, but the way Aberdeen are playing right now, they like to ping it about, like to pass it around that park. They didn't play particularly well against Dundee, but they managed to grind out a result and get a 1-0 late on, and that's what they've been doing all season. They just keep motoring on. But I'm going to go with Stuart. I'm going to say we're going to win on Wednesday as well.
Well, we should say as well, Alex, that the combination of Barron and Raskin, albeit it's only been a few games, looks as though they're starting to work well together, which leads me to think that if Lawrence is back, then it will be Raskin dropped, Dio back in beside Connor Barron, and then you'll have that unbalance again. But I would love to see the manager stick with it too on Wednesday.
They've got a partnership there, don't they? They're actually looking like they're playing well together. They know how to complement each other, and that's the thing that's a bit worrying, because when you've got the way that Barron and Raskin are playing together, Diomande is staying forward, but he likes to drift, and that's the issue. He drifts away and he leaves Barron to do the work himself. So if you've got Raskin and Barron together, they actually stay together, they complement each other. The only issue you've got is that they need to work on their passing game, because if they lay a loose pass against Aberdeen, they're going to make us pay for it. But I would say that that's what I want to see. I want to see those two in the midfield. If Tom Lawrence is fit, maybe this is a game that Diomande gets dropped and he comes on as a sub, because Lawrence is scoring goals for us as well in that 10. So why should he be dropped? He's actually creating goals. He's trying to get in about. He's the one that's taking the shots, trying to get the team running. He drops back and helps as well. So I have to agree. I want to see that partnership, because Raskin looks like he's coming into form, and the manager's doing nothing but praising Connor Barron. So why would you drop the two players that are actually starting to form a partnership and looking really well? We're saying that our centre-backs are struggling, but our two midfielders are looking phenomenal, and then we're going to drop them and replace them with Deal because he looks more of a Clement man.
Well, what I will say is 10 more likes gets us to 150, folks, and we're nearly finished up. So 10 more likes on YouTube gets us to that magical 150. Please like, share, and subscribe as well. And of course, you can find the podcast on audio and wherever you get your podcasts: Acast, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, and other places. I don't know what they are, but that's where you can get them. Just finally, Stuart, is Connor Barron going up there with a point to prove?
No. Same as Ryan Jack, you never went up to Aberdeen with a point to prove, because you never left probably with a bad. Well, you left with a bad taste, obviously, to their support, because they detest everything in blue, don't they? But yeah, I think he will thrive on it, the young lad. I think he will. I just hope he doesn't do anything silly and play the game, don't play the occasion. Is a good saying. And I know hopefully he does the earlier of playing the game and know the occasion. Yeah,
and it should be, for all intents purposes, especially for the neutral, Alex, it should be, as I can't find the comment, somebody's put it be a spicy game. It should actually be, albeit it's our team going up there and we're not in the greatest of positions, and we'll be nervous, of course we will, but it should be a really good game.
Oh, it's going to be a great game. The tackles are going to be flying about. The cards should be out. But I think in terms of Connor Barron, he is going to be booed off that park. So he needs to play just his game. He needs to ignore it and just get on with it. I'm seeing a comment there. Why am I? Am I look like a commentator at this point? Am I just nodding away? Is that what I am? But no, I think it's going to be a great game. But we can't accept as Rangers fans. We can't accept anything but 3 points. But you made the point yesterday, Martin, on the reaction. If we play like we did against St Mirren and come away with 3 points, we'll be happy with that result.
Absolutely.
This is going to be a tough game to go to on Wednesday night. The way Aberdeen are playing, it's going to be a tough game. But if we can come away the victors with 3 points, Clermont will actually start getting some fans back on side, because that's going to be one of our toughest games yet.
And just to finish up the show, Alex looks like a young Michael Stewart.
No taking that, no.
Right, folks, thank you very much for joining us. Please do like, share and subscribe, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or of course Twitter, wherever you're watching. Help the podcast out, share it about. Stuart, first show on the main channel. Thank you very much. How did you enjoy it?
Aye, it was a pleasure. Look
That was
forward
a
to.
sarky eye there, wasn't it? That was it. Aye, that was shit.
No, it definitely was not. I'll look forward coming on with different people. Alex, no offence. But
I'm retiring now. I'm done, right? I'll see you later on. I'm done now.
It'd be good to get, Wilf and Brian or all that good, Robert and stuff like that, just to get, see how they come across. But as we said on the Saturday show with AJ, there's none of this. Oh, great, pal. Talk to you later. Love you. Nah, it didn't happen, does it? No, it's just right. I'm away.
Yeah, we all hate each other behind the scenes. It's great.
Aye, but it was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, Tim, after what Stuart's just said, don't say well done on your first show. He's basically just said to me and Alex he doesn't want to come back home with us. So, so there we go. Listen, folks, thank you very much for tuning in on a Monday night. We are back tomorrow afternoon at 12:30. I will be on, I think, with Ian Thompson. He was still in Faro Airport the last I spoke to him, so hopefully he's home in time. Otherwise, I'll be phoning Alex. Hi, well done on your first and last show, Stuart. There you go. Boom, boom.
That's all right. I can handle that. Better things to do on Monday night.
All seriousness, Alex, Stuart, thank you very much. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in. We'll see you tomorrow at 12:30.